news, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up, welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up, welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up, welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your dearly listening host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Soroka.
See, can't even tell I was cramming my dinner in during the theme song, even with the shortened version.
Yeah, if you want to call an Uncrustable sandwich that my 7-year-old son loves dinner, then yeah.
Silas, Uncrustables are really good, aren't they?
They are.
Do you like them better frozen or defrosted?
I like them better frozen.
Exactly. I think if you don't wait, you give it about 5 minutes out of the freezer, just so the bread softens a little bit, that's when they're perfect.
Have you ever gotten the chocolate, the peanut butter chocolate?
I love that.
The peanut butter chocolate ones? Yeah, they're pretty good.
The hazelnut, right? Isn't it
Hazelnut, yeah.
No, I am a traditionalist. I go with the peanut butter and grape jelly.
Okay. We do it all. We do the honey. We've tried the honey, peanut butter and honey. We've tried, of course, the strawberry.
Now,
And the
you
hazelnut.
used to be the guy who made fun of me for Uncrustables, not because they were Uncrustables, but because you said you made your own.
Yes, we have our own Uncrustable maker.
Right. Do you still make your own, or you buy? It sounds like you buy them to me.
We usually buy them.
Yeah.
That's what I
It
thought.
involves a little bit of, we've been bad, some planning ahead needed. And then usually I'm like, if I want to go somewhere, I'm like, let's just grab some Uncrustables. And they're just so convenient. So
Exactly.
if we took any prep time, they're very easy to prep. Though they don't taste exactly the same if you want to be critical.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, they don't taste exactly the same. But I buy a case of Uncrustables from Costco, and it is just for me, not the kids.
Yeah. See, I'm not at that level. That's a sad, embarrassing level confession to make here on the podcast.
Oh, your mic is like super quiet all of a sudden.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Are you even talking into the right mic?
Well, maybe, sometimes my cord jiggles and
Go on into StreamYard and see what you have set as your mic.
yeah, I got the Yeti microphone set up, and I didn't make any changes to that.
Let's see. And it says Yeti? Is your Yeti pointing the right direction?
Is that any better?
A little bit. Turn the knob up a little bit more.
Is that any better?
No. Tap on the back side. Do you have it backwards?
No, I don't have it backwards. I know how to use this microphone, but sometimes when it comes unplugged and then I plug it back in,
Yeah.
I think I have to go all the way out and come all the way back in before it to
Can I turn you up?
work.
I mean,
I saw you just turn my mic volume up. I don't appreciate that.
I'm trying. Try that.
Go out and come back in.
All right, no, we'll go with that. We'll go with what it's doing now.
All right. Hey,
And I'll check your Yeti settings later.
hey. Speaking of my old Yeti. Hey, speaking of Uncrustables and childhood things. I was thinking about this the other day. I dropped off my daughter to school, and I noticed in the back seat her water bottle had fallen out of her backpack.
Yeah.
I was thinking about differences in when we grew up and these kids today.
Oh, every kid needs a water bottle with them at all times now.
And I had a panic attack. I was like, if Faye does not have this water bottle for 10 minutes at school,
Yeah.
she's going to dehydrate and die. I have to get this water bottle back to her as soon as possible. We never had water bottles growing up.
But have you noticed your college kids are the same way? Even the college kids always have a drink on them all the time.
Well, they got those big old pink Stanleys or whatever. But,
Yes.
But no, because we didn't use water bottles growing up, right?
No, we had water fountains.
Yeah,
I was trying.
a water fountain.
And
We aren't allowed to use the water fountain.
my older kids did not have drinks like this. I'm wondering if it's that COVID thing, if that's when it went to effect. Because I didn't really pay attention or notice until the past few years. And is it suddenly you can't share a water fountain with people?
Are we misremembering this? In elementary school, in fifth grade, every kid have a water bottle? Because every kid in elementary school now has a water bottle.
No, I told you it's COVID.
Okay, that's not COVID.
It is. It's post-COVID.
No, I remember even growing up how gross those water fountains were, though. Right? There would always be one person in the class, mouth all over
Yeah,
the water fountain.
right. Suck on it.
Yeah, like it's a nipple or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, now they've outfitted a lot of these water fountains to have like the little dispenser for water bottles as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
and they have
thing.
that stupid thing over top where it says you have saved 20,000
Oh,
20,000 water bottles.
Lie.
As if I was going to buy a plastic water bottle every time I use that thing.
Right.
That's not true.
Right. Directly in the mouth.
Yeah. That's a little bit ridiculous.
Yep. Silas.
Have you ever tried to do it like a water fountain where you stick your mouth right under there?
I have
right
not
in
in the
mouth?
bottle.
You ever tried that?
No. Silas, have you ever drank straight from a water hose outside?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's how our whole summer. That's the only place that we would drink during the summer growing up. That's it.
It feels like that. It does feel like that.
Yeah, we want to go inside and get drinks. If you want to drink in the summer, you go to the hose.
And if you had and for some houses they didn't have the hose, so you had to just put the faucet and go right up to the brick.
Oh yeah, right for the brick faucet.
Yeah.
You had to somehow crank your neck around there to get down low
Right.
enough to get the water out. That's how we drank. Now they all got a fancy water bottle.
And you'd get a friend that would pinch the hose so you wouldn't get it quite as much, and then they'd unwrap it right when you put your mouth on it.
Well, that was like a trust test. I mean, that's how you found
exactly.
which friends to trust, which couldn't. These kids today, they don't know how to trust their friends.
No.
There's no trust going on like that.
No, we lived back when we had a real hydration station.
Yeah. That was the original hydration station.
Right.
And props for who came up with do we know who came up with the hydration station?
We do. It was Cole Irvin.
Okay. I know he came up with the bird bath. I didn't really remember.
He came up with the faucet for single, the sprinkle for double. Yeah. I don't know who was the smart one this year to bring out the 4-person bong.
Yeah.
So that when they're on base, they can all hit the hydration station, because that was a smart move and a great addition.
Yeah.
I think next year they just bring up like an ice cooler that you hop in if you hit a home run.
Yeah. Do you think Orioles should do more to recognize Cedar Perez's? He caught another home run with his hat the other day.
Hat ball.
Yeah, it's impressive how many balls he catches with his hat.
Yeah. That would be a fun T-shirt.
Yeah.
I should put that on a T-shirt. That'd be fun.
Okay. Just don't get sued.
Right. No logos.
Yeah.
No names.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sell all my artwork to a competitor now. We'll see how that goes.
All right. Good luck with that, Josh. Who's the competitor? No, don't tell me.
Well, I'll give you a clue. They've directly stolen my designs in the past. Where I see something come out shortly after mine and be like, that looks familiar.
Okay. So it's no one who's blocked you, competitors who blocked you because they're mad at you for competing. They're competitors who follow you so they can steal your stuff.
Correct. I don't think any competitors have blocked me. They just steal my stuff.
Okay. We'll talk on the show later. That's not true, but we'll talk after the show.
Who blocked me?
I don't know. Who's the guys who used to make T-shirts? That used to be the big guys on the block.
Yeah. You're right. I think they did block me, but I don't think they.
Because they blocked me too, and I was like, I have nothing to do with the T-shirts.
Yeah.
Why am I getting blocked?
Yeah, they got a little sensitive because they would make 2 shirts a season.
Yeah. All right, Josh. So let's talk some baseball. So since we last talked, we had the Mets series.
Yep.
Where we lost a couple heartbreakers in the Mets series.
Correct.
And then we had the Astros series, which was interesting. There was we split with the Astros, but there was also some Orioles magic mixed in there.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
a lot of a long-awaited Orioles magic.
It was the type of Orioles magic that suddenly you think every game is going to be some Orioles magic, because the bats came alive at the right moments. Where you had the Jackson Holiday double.
Yep.
Off the bench in a game that he probably should have started, but they said, "Oh, we're going to give him a rest day." Then you see him off the bench, and then it was the next day, right? That Santander.
It was the reverse. It was Santander hit the grand slam. The next day, Holiday hit the base clearing double.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but
and I saw the guy that got a tattoo for Heston Kjerstad's home run earlier in the season. Did the same thing on Twitter, saying if Santander hits the grand slam, I'm getting a tattoo. So he will now be getting a tattoo again. of a potato.
Okay, and he deserves it. He deserves the potato for being.
Yeah, if you put that on there, you didn't help them hit that home run. But go ahead and take your credit with the tattoo bet.
Yeah.
That you made against yourself.
Yeah. So now, like big picture wise, did you zoom out after? I think a Mets series. The Mets are a good team, but a series you wish you could have taken a couple more, or at least two of those games, and then you have the Astros, where it felt a little bit like you stole a couple games. So then you could argue, that we could have won a third of those games.
Yeah, baseball tends to balance itself out.
Yeah. So how are we feeling? The Orioles are now a game and a half out of first place. The Yankees got the fortune of playing the Rockies while we were going up against the Astros. Two very different teams there.
Yeah, and we got tonight off, and then we got 3 in LA, which is tough. Well, he's a good team, obviously.
Yeah.
Get to see Ohtani.
We'll get to see, isn't Jack Flaherty starting one of those games, I think?
Oh, is he? All right.
Yeah, that should be fun.
So it'll be fun, little Dodger series. But then we do get Colorado after that. And then after that, we get the White Sox.
Yeah.
So don't panic if the Orioles struggle in LA. We'll make it up next week. Rockies, White Sox,
maybe.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
The Orioles do have a tendency to play down to their opponent, though.
Yeah.
Which is really frustrating.
Yeah. It's starting to seem like, Josh, just the injuries pile up. We'll get to the Ryan Mountcastle injury.
So many times now I look at her and I'm like, well, we're in first place or competing for first place with all these injuries. Imagine if we didn't have all these injuries. We would be the odds-on favorites for the World Series if we did not have these injuries.
Yeah, we would be way above the Yankees, yeah.
Yeah, and imagine if unicorns were real and you could just hop on a unicorn and fly to school and work every day. That'd be awesome too, right, guys?
That'd be wonderful.
Stupid comment. Everyone's got injuries.
No one's got it. But don't you think the Orioles have had more injuries of key players than any other team?
Yeah, I mean, I saw someone shared the Orioles pitching injuries, and it was like, that's a good
rotation
bullpen.
Yes.
Rotation plus bullpen. If you had Bautista and Coulomb and Webb, I could rock with that, and I feel like that's a playoff team right there in terms of pitching stuff.
Right.
So yeah, the injuries have been.
So you mentioned Mountcastle. So what's the latest with Mountcastle? That just came out right before the show.
Well, let me ask you. We'll get to Mountcastle. I was going to ask you a question before you interrupted me. The game and a half now. How important is it to you, Josh?
I don't care.
Orioles win the AL East.
I don't think I care.
Really?
Well, I mean, let me rephrase that. I care. I don't think it stops this team from making it any deeper into the playoffs. Because this team is already built where no matter what, they are playing against adversity. And right now it's the injury bug. The only downside to me is having to play that other series and concerns about pitching depth and bullpen depth. Going into having to do 2 series, get through the wild card series and then the divisional series instead of straight to the divisional. But I'm not concerned about this team if we go into the wild card instead of the division. And who would we have to play? I mean, the Rangers maybe?
No, the Rangers out of it.
Wild card.
But could there be an argument made?
Kansas City, Minnesota.
Yeah,
Houston.
Yeah, not Houston. They're going to win the AL West.
Right, but they'll be the third. Remember, the way the wild card works,
the top 2 divisions.
The top 2 get buys.
Okay.
So the third will be Houston, and then we've got Kansas City, Minnesota, and Boston and Seattle are trailing 5-6 games.
But if we're the 1 seed in the wild card, we would play the other wild card. We would play another
Right, we would play Kansas City or Minnesota, and neither of those teams scare me.
Kansas City gives me nightmares. I see Bobby Witt Jr. Going wild.
I see that. I see Bobby Witt Jr. having a great
Remember
game.
what happened? We went down the Kansas City road in the playoffs before too. Didn't end well for the Orioles.
Yes, I know that.
Okay. I know
so you're
different
right.
teams.
I'd rather play the Twins.
I would too. The Twinkies. Give me them.
So I don't know. Are you concerned that we need? I don't feel like we need the division to make it to the World Series.
What about this, Josh? We have such a banged up team. Even Adley took the day off because of back spasms.
So you're thinking the extra rest?
I'm thinking I didn't feel like that last year. Like we needed extra rest last year.
Yeah.
This year it feels like we're gonna have so many guys coming back from injuries. Guys like Coulomb,
Well, that's
maybe Mateo. Though there's reports that maybe Mateo's gonna need surgery.
Westberg.
Westberg. We're gonna have a bunch of guys coming back from injuries.
Bautista.
Well, Batista won't be this year.
Yeah, Batista. They said Batista won't be ready by the playoffs.
They keep teasing pictures of him throwing.
Yeah, maybe
it's so rude. Social media, stop that.
I know. I still think World Series, November.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that you have to submit rosters because it'd be way cooler if you didn't have to submit your rosters and Batista just comes out of the pen.
Yeah.
No one knows he's available.
You hear the Omar whistle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even with knowing, if we're in a playoff game and suddenly that Omar whistle comes on, the stadium's going crazy.
Yeah. They'll go crazy next year too.
That's true.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think maybe you could argue a little more rest would be nice and be in the wood scene. But at the end of the day, we're still going to have to roll in the playoffs and play well.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can do that, whether we're the 1 seed or not, and whether we're the division winners or not.
What confuses me most about all these injuries that we've been having lately is the random people that suddenly are on the Orioles team and starting.
Josh, I'm not even joking. I don't care. I don't care saying this. I will say this in public. Before doing the show, I went to the Google machine and typed in 40-man roster for the Orioles so I could look at guys now on our team.
Like Brooke Kritzky?
Well, yeah, he was sent to the minors, but
right, but wasn't he added to the 40-man? Because isn't that why Vespi got removed?
Yeah, Josh, what are your thoughts about Vespi, who the Orioles treated like a yo-yo, calling up, down, 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 up, removing him from the 40-man? Isn't that a little bit of a slap in the face?
Yeah, his walk rate at Norfolk has gone up. Right before that, they also DFA'd Zimmerman and got him off the 40-man without any appearances in the big leagues this year.
Yeah.
So, I feel like Zimmerman was the yo-yo guy the past couple of years. I feel bad for both those guys because they both seem like good guys. They just couldn't play well enough to stick up here.
Yeah. I hope Vespi gets a regular shot and some bullpen in the majors.
Yeah, again, it's another spot where I feel like on other teams, these guys could make an impact.
Yeah. I don't really understand it, to be honest. Like, it's bizarre to me that, for example, this Emmanuel Rivera, who started a couple games for us.
Yeah, he's the guy I texted you. Who is that guy?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know. And he was DFA'd by Miami. Yes. So he's not good enough to play for Miami. But now we're on this playoff pushing for our division, and now he's good enough to start games for us.
Right, suddenly he's better than having Holiday or Urias start.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of weird?
Or who was the bullpen pitcher with the beard that, again, just popped out of nowhere?
Was that Selby?
Yeah, Selby.
We got a bunch of these guys. Selby, Bowman now, Matt Bowman.
Yeah.
Guys who weren't on the team, who just popped up in the past couple of weeks as we're in this playoff.
And they pop up, they make an appearance out of the pen, and then they immediately get sent back down.
Yeah, or maybe guys like Burke Smith, who just hang around long enough to turn into pumpkins, which seems like Burke Smith is doing.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, but somehow you have Nick Vespi gone, you have other guys being sent down. Somehow though, Josh, Gregory Soto and our favorite closer, Craig Kimbrell, have stayed on the team despite all these moving parts.
I don't think there's anything Kimbrell can do to get kicked off the team.
Yeah, listen,
he's done everything.
Why is he not starting? Why is he never just coming out of the game? Why is he not coming out of the bullpen anymore?
Yeah, he's not playing as much, right? He's not the closer.
No,
the new closer is
Dominguez.
Yeah, Dominguez is the new closer.
Correct.
Even though he's given up a couple bombs.
Right. Even though he's another one of these guys that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But if it works, it works.
Yeah, I like Anthony Dominguez. This also makes me think.
I don't trust him yet. You don't trust him, do you?
I like him. He's not going to load the bases up. He's not going to give up 4 hits. He'll just give up the occasional home run.
Yeah, but that's where I need this offense to wake up. And without Mountcastle, without Westberg, they've got some struggles on the offensive side. How about the fact that Urias is crushing the ball and suddenly playing really good offense? He's still making bonehead mistakes out in the field, but it suddenly seems like he's got that clutch factor that the rest of this team has not been.
Yeah, he's played really well. I mean, I listened to on the radio when he had that home run.
Because I want to hate him.
Yeah.
You know, all season I've been saying get rid of the guy.
Yeah, and I think it was Brett Hollander who said, this is the guy you want to have up on this in this spot with 2 runners on, down by 3. You're like, what? You want to have Ramon Arias? And then
Yeah. And
Ramon Arias hit the home run. Brett Hollander said that. So
look at
good
his
call.
last 15. He is the guy you want up there.
Since the All-Star break. Yeah, he's played really good ball.
Yes.
And there was a lot of people, maybe my co-host was one of them, who were calling for DFAing Ramon Arias.
Just get rid of him. Exactly.
Mayo and all
now,
other prospects.
To be fair, when we were saying that, Mateo was on the team, Westberg was on the team,
Norby was on the team.
Norby. And Varvra was making a push.
Yeah, Varvra was on the team.
Mayo was on the team.
Yeah. Yeah. Josh, there's just so many. It's weird that we're talking about, I think the Orioles are pretty good. They have one of the best records in baseball. It just seems like there's so many holes. I feel like it's so easy to get super negative because
we had and at the beginning of the season, we were a team of depth. And we said we've got depth at every position.
Yeah, this was our strength, right? That the season is the gauntlet, and we'll be able to survive better than everybody else because we have the depth.
We have the depth. Well, we've been put to the test.
Yeah. Then if we have the depth, then how was Emmanuel Rivera starting a game for us? And how do we have all these random relievers just popping up out of nowhere?
It's odd because would you
Austin
pick that guy?
Slater getting all this playing time.
Right. Well, yeah, Austin Slater missed the ball this past weekend where I was like, I'm pretty sure that was within the Austin Hayes range. I think Austin Hayes could have gotten to that ball.
I think Austin Slater's a better defender. Maybe that play.
But yeah, I don't understand because I would have had Kobe Mayo still up here if I was the GM instead of this guy.
Yes.
And I know he struggled, and I know it took until that Nats series to get a hit. But I would have had him up here working on it. But it's not my call.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's the answer here. It's weird. If you look at and by the way, to address a couple of the comments, first of all, my hair is not gray. It's summer in Georgia, so it's a very light blonde.
See, my hair's not gray either.
Well, your hair is naturally darker, and you probably use some sort of product to make it gray.
You know what I did to my hair? I had a whole lot of grays in my hair. And you know what I did? I decided I was just going to go in and do the whole mohawk gray. So I got some gray hair dye, and I dyed my hair gray, and it didn't take. Instead, it just covered all my grays in brown. I don't know how that works.
Okay.
So I tried to dye my hair gray.
Explanation I've ever heard.
I tried to dye my hair gray,
Josh,
and instead it made it brown.
Lots of men are insecure about their hair and insecure about their gray hairs and dye it brown. You don't have to come up with this wild story about trying to dye gray and it just magically turned brown.
I didn't buy brown hair dye. I bought gray hair dye.
Okay.
I don't understand. I didn't bleach first. Apparently that was my mistake.
Okay. I don't know. I don't use hair dye, and I don't intend to ever use hair dye. But teach their own. And to the other comment, who's a new guy in section 336, that of course is my son Sal. So I think at this point he probably should do the show without me. He watches, I think, more of the baseball games than I do at this point. So
at least before 8 p.m.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Certainly on weekends he's all over it. The weekday 7:00 starts a little bit brutal for him.
Yeah, those are tough.
Hey, speaking of Josh, you saw the attendance for the Sunday night game. Not good.
All right.
Not good Sunday night baseball.
It looked poor on TV.
Yeah. Well, now, it's back up. School is back in session.
Well, wasn't Monday the first day of school? According to my Facebook feed, it looks like Monday was the first day of school for a lot of people in Maryland.
And this was a switcheroo where it's originally an afternoon game, and they moved it to the evening night game. So
yeah. And to be fair, the Orioles play so horrible when they're on ESPN that I would kind of be dreading going to that game too.
Yeah.
They do. I don't know what it is about it. We used to have the same issue with the Ravens where they'd play down on big games.
Yeah. No, it's true. Well, speaking of night games, it is 9:00. Sash, I want to say goodbye to our listeners. It's your bedtime.
Oh, side eye. He doesn't want to leave.
I don't.
I know you can go. But we talked pre-show. We talked pre-show that you can stay till 9, and then you have to go to bed for school tomorrow.
Oh, he is gonna. Good night, Silas.
Good night, bud.
I don't want it.
You got 2 minutes, all right?
Why?
Here's your 2-minute warning. I'm not gonna tell you again. You're just gonna get up on your own and go, okay?
Think about your closing thoughts,
Yeah.
Silas.
Do you have any final comments?
Your
Get ready
final
to start.
comments. What you want to say about the Orioles before you leave?
This boy just love talking O's, love hearing O's. So, Josh, we're a little bit all over the place here.
Yes, we are.
That's all right. I just want to put a bow on this Emmanuel Rivera thing
Okay.
because,
How long is he going to be here?
well, what you can't help but notice, you mentioned Kobe Mayo. The other thing you can't help but notice that if we never traded Connor Norby, I mean, we can also go back to the Burns trade, so I think that was a great trade.
Connor
for
Norby,
teams.
who's not making the Marlins, isn't he still in Jacksonville?
Oh my, someone has not been paying attention, Josh.
I have not been paying attention. Is he playing well with the Marlins?
Connor Norby, 6 games, so he's only been up for a week.
Okay.
Right? 9 hits, 2 home
Oh.
runs.
That's a little bit better than Kobe Mayo.
Got an OPS of over 1,000, on base of 400, slugging of 792. I mean, that guy, he's crushing it since he's been up there playing third. I'm not going to share with you Kyle Stowers' numbers. I'll just say this. If you look at the numbers, it's funny. Luis Ariz, played double the games in Miami before he was traded.
Right.
And had 11 strikeouts in 137 at-bats. Kyle Stowers has 66 at-bats, half the at-bats, and 27 strikeouts in those 66 at-bats. So
Ooh.
Kyle Stowers has been a struggle. But Connor Norby's played really well. And so you can't help but wonder, Connor Norby could have played third. And he would have been better than Rivera. That kind of looks. And then, we got a pitcher back for him who was so bad
that they sent him down.
Norfolk, where he gave up like 100 runs in his first outing at Norfolk.
Yeah.
How's that trade
Mr.
looking?
Trevor Rogers not looking
How's
so
that trade
good.
looking? No. And you think about it, right now it's early. Anyone who judges the trade deadline and says who won and who lost in August is a knucklehead, because you can't tell in August who won or lost a trade.
I can tell you that bringing Zach Eflin to Baltimore was a win.
Oh, the guy on the injured list? That's Zach Eflin?
He's not on the is he on the injured list or just taking a couple days off? I don't think he made it. I don't think he was officially put on the injured list, was he?
I think he was.
I don't think so. I think he was just skipping.
Okay, then look it up, and so you can take a minute, and all the listeners can kind of think how wrong you are while you look it up. That'd be great for me. And so Zach Eflin's out. How the trade worked out for Gregory Soto?
All right, he was placed on the injured list. He's eligible to come off September 1st. He feels good that he'll be able to come off September 1st.
Yeah, and they're saying he doesn't even need a rehab start. He can just turn right back in, which would be great.
So he's missing 2 starts.
Yeah. So right now the trade deadline's not looking great, Josh. It's not looking great.
Well, not for this year.
But that's the whole purpose of the trade deadline is to
I know.
this year.
You would think, but Michael Elias did make sure to make trades for guys that he has control of next year as well. He didn't bring in any rentals.
I mean, I don't know I forget what Gregory Soto's contract is, but I bet that turns into a rental. I hope it does. I hope we're not bringing him back next year. I don't know what his contract situation is. But yeah, with the starters, Trevor Rogers, you got 2 more years Trevor Rogers. So I think they're going to try to fix Trevor Rogers. And so we'll see if they can fix him. But right now, I don't care about 2025. Right now, I'd rather have Connor Norby than Trevor Rogers. Sorry.
Sure. Of course.
That sounds like, right now, it looks like an L for Michael Elias.
But yeah, I hear you. It is crazy that we had all this depth and then we traded away the depth. So then we get an injury like Westberg and Mateo, 2 infielders, and Mountcastle, 3 infield injuries, and suddenly we're struggling with depth. Now, I don't get Ramirez playing first base yesterday. Wasn't he playing first base yesterday?
Yeah.
In place of Mountcastle? I don't understand that move because all preseason or spring training, we were talking about how Santander can play first base. Adley can play first base. O'Hearn can play first base.
I know O'Hearn's played a good bit of first base,
Right.
not the others. But
So
O'Hearn.
why wouldn't you start O'Hearn there or Adley and put McCann behind the plate? Why Ramirez over O'Hearn?
Yeah, I think they get another righty in the lineup, I guess.
Yeah, but we've talked about this.
Loves his
I know
righties.
Brandon Hyde loves this lefty-righty. There's more important things to think about than just lefty-righty.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the whole offense has been concerning. Even, I mean, in that series against the Astros, if you look at the, like, it just hits. I mean, in yesterday's game, we had the big home run by Rice, but we only had 2 hits in that whole game. And then the day before we had 7 and then 8 and then just 3 in the first game of the series. So we were kind of out hit because they got, 8, 10, 6, 10 hits. So we were out hitting that game.
Right.
So,
And it's not that we're being overmatched on the mound. It's that our offense is hitting the ball hard and they are hitting it directly to people. I keep seeing the ball, like they're making contacts with the ball. They're not even striking out that often. They're making contact and it's like a hard hit right to the right fielder, a hard hit right to shortstop.
yeah, no, I agree. Like there was some hard hit balls even in that Sunday night game that just seemed to be right at people, and that's encouraging. It's not like people look lost at the plate. I don't think.
No, they don't. It looks like bad luck.
Yeah. But the pitching the way it is, Josh, especially the bullpen, but even the starters, this is a team that needs to give 6, 7 runs a game consistently if we want to compete. And in the playoffs, it's going to be true in the playoffs too. This team seems to be better offensively than pitching and defense. So the offense needs to produce, and they didn't against the Astros. I'm curious to see what they do against Jack Flaherty and a Walker Buehler, and I don't know who's the third starter for them, but I think this will be a good test for this offense because the Astros are a playoff team, right? The Dodgers are a playoff team, so I think it's a good test to see where the Orioles are at. And it is true that everyone's kind of down, right? There's no 100-win dominant team.
And we've seen the past 2 starts, we've seen Burns struggle, which has been frustrating because he's been so good this year. And we're now 11 and 12, 12 and 11 for August. And that falls right in line with July and June about playing around 500 ball. And in June, we praised that, thinking that was just a rough June.
Month and then,
but it's been the same way. It's continued.
Yeah. We've been at or a couple games, 1 or 2 games below 500 all year. And I mean, all since like June.
Since last Saturday, August 17th, the Orioles have a team batting average of balls in play of 192.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, that's the worst team in baseball. It's 100 points less than the average in baseball during that time. So it's just bad luck. It means we're hitting the ball. We're not striking out. We're hitting the ball, but they're making the plays.
Yeah. So maybe I saw Utah Street Report. Friend of the show.
Yeah, Derek broke down a chart about with our players and their career BABIP versus what their BABIP is for the last week and a half.
Oh, that's not where I was going with this.
Oh, okay. Because it's interesting because James McCann has a career BABIP, which is balls in play, of 301.
Try to explain the BABIP to us. Thanks,
Hey,
Josh.
that's not for you. It's for the listeners.
Okay.
And he has had 10 plate appearances in this time and he has a 0. Santander has a .091 when he has an average of 264. And our best player at the time is Ramon Urias, who's got a 271 right now when his career average is 322. So everyone is down.
Right, and you hope that evens out.
It's supposed to even out, yes.
But Utah Street, I like their idea. They put on Twitter about the curse of the Billy Goat with the Cubs.
Okay.
Where the curse of the Billy Goat with the Cubs. Someone brought the goat in. They didn't win the World Series for a long time because that goat was turned away.
What caused our curse?
Well, the Billy Goat, the T. Rowe Price.
We brought the Billy Goat in.
Yeah, ever since we added the T. Rowe Price logo, Josh, this team has gone downhill. Do you think this is the next Billy Goat curse or the T. Rowe Price curse?
Oh, I hope not. I was actually looking at it this weekend and thinking that's not bad up there. I don't mind it at all. It doesn't look bad.
Yeah. Well, Silas' issue is, I don't disagree with Silas. He doesn't like the color of the logo.
Well, it changes colors, right?
Well, no, I think it's always that light blue, right?
No, I've seen it different colors. I think it's a big
I've
light.
never seen that logo.
On the jersey?
Oh no, on the jersey. I thought you meant the sign above the jumbotron.
Oh, I haven't really noticed.
Yes,
that
on the light blue on the jersey's correct. I would rather it be team colors.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah. All right. Hey, switching gears, new topic here.
But I have noticed a whole lot more advertising in Camden Yards when you watch games now. Like there's a whole new banner on the fence above the out-of-town scoreboard at the flag court. There's a new like Mariner Bank banner there. There's a whole lot more advertisers, and the Orioles better spend that money on some players.
Yeah,
Some
they
extensions.
better take that $150 ad money and do something with it.
If that's only $150, I'm buying an ad.
Okay. Section 336 ad.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Of course, for $150, it might be $150 a plate appearance.
All right. Yeah. Let's talk about the promotion of Samuel Basayo.
Okay, bye.
Oh, bye, Silas.
Bye, Silas. Thanks for coming.
Silas and I
All
have
right.
worked out an agreement. Once a month, he can sit on the show. So he had to get this in. This is our last show of the month. So he's like, he had to get in there.
He is the future of Section 336.
Yeah. So we're slowly grooming him to take over the show.
And soon he will know more than us.
Yeah. So yeah, I give him about 6 months.
Yeah. Samuel
Um,
Basallo.
Yeah. Call up to AAA.
Yeah.
This feels good. He was named, I think, the Eastern League player of the week. He's been hot recently.
Yeah.
His numbers are good.
Yeah. What does this mean for September? They won't make the jump to the big leagues in September, will they?
Yeah. I forget how. I feel like this is a similar track to guys like Jackson Holiday, where they're called up at the end of the season to AAA, kind of to get. I feel like they do this with a lot of their top prospects, and maybe just all their prospects. Jump them up at the end. I mean, we saw Enrique Bradfield also jump a league. So you get a kind of a month in the new league, and then you can start 2025 running. So I think this means nothing for 2024. But I think for 2025, he can start Norfolk and start running. And then it's prospect watch time, right? Like then we're just watching Samuel Basayo in 2025, waiting for the call up. He just turned, 21?
Right.
Just turned 20 or just turned 21? I think he just turned 21 this week or last week. He's the youngest player in AAA now. And so
he just turned 20 years old.
Oh, he just turned 20. That's wild. So it's another Jackson Holiday situation here.
Correct.
Or close to it. So, yeah. So I think 2025, he's going to be 20, and he's going to be on prospect watch to be called up. It does raise some interesting questions, obviously, with Rutschman and Basayo both playing catcher.
Well, McCann is, and you got McCann in there. Does McCann's contract continue next year?
I don't know. I mean, the Braves are paying for most of his contract as is.
I thought the Mets.
Yeah, the Mets. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. The Mets.
But it doesn't get interesting between. I assume you want Basello to come up and learn behind Adley. It gets interesting on Adley's extension. That's the interesting part.
You don't think it's interesting how they're going to share the catching position?
Well, I assume you will handle it similar to a NFL quarterback, where he's going to be the backup, and he's going to learn from Adley. And then when it's time, maybe you'll get Adley playing more DH. I think when it's time, you get him in there. I think McCann currently gets a lot of playing time at catcher, a lot more than a normal backup would get. I think you could see the same thing with Sam.
I was just looked it up, and we're 120 games in or something like that. He's played 54 games this year already.
McCann?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he plays every Sunday game whenever Eflin pitches. Like, they've got him on a really good rotation where he's playing once a week.
And that's without an injury. Like, Adley has not gone on the injured list.
Right.
That's just like normal playing time.
Right.
where he's playing a ton. So replace that bat with the Samuel Basayo.
Correct.
And
And
I
keep
think we'll
it.
see more Basayo DHing too.
Yeah. So it'll be kind of the same as McCann, but without like he'll just replace McCann.
Yeah, I think he'll play a little more DH than McCann played, I would imagine.
I think that depends on if you re-sign Anthony Santander.
Well, he's another lefty bat. So I mean, we got all lefty bats, so he presents another lefty bat. So it becomes actually an interesting thing with O'Hearn.
And
who's usually
McCann
against righties.
and McCann is a free agent
Yeah,
after this season.
Yeah,
So I'd imagine you probably wouldn't re-sign him.
I mean, you need someone to catch in April and May, in June, and just in case Basayo isn't ready.
Right, but would you give that to McCann? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I guess we'll see how much they trust Basello being ready in May.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because McCann's not the guy you're going to send down to Norfolk to be there as an emergency. Unless you carry 3 catchers, which I can't really see them doing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you could replace O'Hearn with McCann and make McCann a general DH.
No,
but I can't really see them doing that.
No. McCann's only on this team if he's catching a bunch.
Right. So I see McCann gone after this year.
Yeah. No, I tend to agree with you. But in terms of this year, I think the Basayo call-up is good. It means he's right in line. I'm curious to see where he ends up on all these in the offseason. Once you get Jackson Holiday and Jackson Chourio and all these other guys off the prospect list, how high? I mean, we got a little thing here, right? We're running. We got number 1 prospect kind of going back, but before we got Adley,
and we've got
Gunner and Jackson Holiday, and now we're trying to keep that alive with Basayo. It's going to be, I think, it has an outsider's chance of finishing up near the top in some prospect polls.
Well, also we have the Rookie of the Year streak we're working on.
That's
with Gunner getting it last year and Colton having a pretty big lead right now for this year.
Yeah. Oh, this is interesting not to take you away from that, but on the fan graphs, they're updated top prospects. Jackson Holiday is number 1. Junior Caminero for the Rays is number 2. Both of those guys are in the majors now, so they'll come off eventually if they stay in the majors.
Right. So
and Samuel Basayo is number 3.
All right, so we're going on another year.
Fan graphs. Now, other leagues don't. I don't think other places are as high as Fangraphs, but Fangraphs has them as number 3 and so potentially number 1 come the offseason.
Can you tell me about Blake Hunt?
He's the guy we got in the trade for Mike Baumann.
Is that where he came from?
Yeah, I think he came in the trade for Mike Baumann.
Because he is a catcher with Norfolk that's also on the 40-man. So he's 25 years old, so he could be that placeholder if Basallo's not ready next year.
Yeah. Yeah, and so maybe Michael Elias thinking ahead. That's why I traded Mike Baumann for him.
It could be.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. I lied. No, I did right. They got him for from the Mariners for Mike Baumann. I was right. Good for me. So yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting.
That would make more. Though Blake kind of struggled since he's been to Norfolk, but that would make sense just as a placeholder.
Yeah, I mean him or Maverick Hanley, they're both the same age, so they could even play it out.
Yeah.
This is our last show of August, so we do have September call-ups next week. There's 2 slots.
Usually a pitcher and a hitter. Usually.
Yeah. Well, the Orioles are limited. The league limits you to 14 pitchers on your roster.
Right. And what do they have now? 13?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Usually teams carry 12
they fluctuate so much, it's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
I've never seen this many moves, even when we used to have the Norfolk shuttle.
And it's so bizarre. And I wonder, it's hard. I assume other teams are dealing with this too, but it's the bullpen just being...
Yes, mediocre.
Well, and you know that it's not just that you're calling these guys up. You know that these guys who just like Colin Selby when he was here, like they're pitching in like big spots.
Yes.
Because we can't go with, some of our staple guys in big spots because Soto can't be put in a big spot.
Right. No
and
one's
Kimbrel
being.
can't be put in a big
There's
spot.
no one that you can just hide on this bullpen.
Yeah, and all the games are relatively close. So
Yes.
you get
Yeah.
these Matt Bauman in these kind of big spots. It's
Correct.
wild. But yeah, and anyway.
Is it as simple as Mayo and another pitcher?
Like I guess the obvious thing would be a pitcher like Colin Selby or Dylan Tate.
Right. Or is there no fun in these September call-ups because they're just going to use it for depth on pitching and then Ramirez to stay while Mountcastle is healthy or something?
Yeah, I mean, interesting. If you look at the 40-man roster, which I pulled up so I could know who Emmanuel Rivera's name, it's interesting. You look at it. People who are not on the team, I mean, who are not on the Orioles right now, but are on the 40-man roster.
Well, they don't take a slot. If you're on the IL, you're not taking a slot. So you're not counting those guys. You mean guys that are in the minors?
No, you count unless you're on the 60-day DL. You count if you're on the 10-day DL.
Do you?
Yeah, like Heston Kjerstad counts against it. Jordan Westbrook
right.
still on the 10-day. He counts.
All right, so like Eflin's on the 15-day IL. So he counts as a 40-man?
Yeah, he does.
15.
Oh, he's on the 15? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some guys can go on 10 and some guys can go on 15. Like Mountcastle's on the 10.
I don't know. I've never heard of the 10. Mountcastle's on the 10. Westberg's on the 10. Kjerstad's on the 10.
Is the pitcher gets 15? This is I know
it might.
You know
what? It might be a pitching thing. So you're not just skipping a start.
Right. So you have to miss a couple starts.
Yeah, because Webb is on the 15. Rodriguez is on the 15. Eflin's on the 15.
Yeah.
And then Batista, Bradish, Colum, Means, and Wells are all on the 60. Oh, and Mateo's on the 60 as well.
Yeah.
All right, but you're talking about guys who are
who are on the 40-man roster, but aren't currently on the major league team.
All right. Brian Baker.
No. Position players.
Position players.
Yeah. There's only 2.
Blake Hunt, that we we mentioned before.
And the one you mentioned before.
Oh, and then Mayo.
That's it.
And then Mayo.
So anyone else would have to be added to the 40-man. And maybe that's not a problem if you want to,
Well, but
everyone else is on the roster, though.
Except, why would you have to add anyone else? Because you've already got all your depth up here.
Right.
Like Ramirez is on the 40-man. Soto is on the 40-man.
But that's what I'm saying. If you want to call up a position player, though, when rosters expand, your choices right now are Hunt and Mayo.
Gotcha.
Now,
but what you're going to do instead, I think Mountcastle's 10-day might end on September 1st. It might be backlogged.
Who's being called up on the roster to replace Mountcastle?
I don't think anyone was.
No, but who will be? Because it just happened today. But who's going to get the call up?
Oh,
is Mayo coming back?
Maybe Kjerstad?
Kjerstad?
I haven't heard any update on Kjerstad. Has he been playing in Norfolk? No, because he's on the 10-day.
IL. But
that should be expired.
So he could come back at any time.
Right, but why hasn't he came back? Is he having concussion issues?
Oh no, they already made a replacement. They called up Soto.
Okay, so Soto was called up.
Yeah, not Gregory Soto, Levan Soto. You keep on calling up Sotos, you might find a Soto is actually good at baseball.
And that Mountcastle was retroactive till August 23rd. So that puts him up middle of next week, or end of next week.
So that's the answer, and that's where we are currently at depth.
All right.
Soto's our call up.
But you will, on September 1st, you can have Mayo, Hunt, or Kjerstad up.
Yeah, and you're right. When Mountcastle comes back, he'll probably be the guy, and then
one of those guys is going down. Ramirez or Soto probably is going down.
Well, you have the extra guy, so you'll probably just, I guess, keep Soto and have Rivera. Like it doesn't.
Well, no, because I think you'll bring up. Well, if you bring up Hunt, you'll send him right back down. But if you bring up Kjerstad, you might want to keep him up as that extra man.
Yeah, and if Kjerstad's healthy, you have to bring him up, right?
Yes.
Because he's that power bat off the. He brings something unique. I know it's just batting practice, but he has in-game power too. And you have to bring him up, I'd imagine, when the rosters expand.
He
if
went
he's
on
healthy.
the 10-day with a concussion, retroactive to August 1st. So he's well past that date.
Yeah.
So it's really, why is he not up here now? And is
Which
it
makes you wonder if there's an injuries thing here still.
right? Like, is he still having, like, because he's not even playing at Norfolk?
Right.
Like, do you have him just in Sarasota working out? Where's he been? I don't know, because you're just leaving him on that IL, which is odd.
Yeah. Well, these concussion things are weird.
I know, but that's the scary part when I want him up on this team making an impact.
Yeah.
And I could see the argument of, well, we can't play infield. We can't bring him in now. We have to have these extra infielders. I can see that argument. But then he would be playing in Norfolk.
Yeah. He better not miss extended time for this, Josh, because between the myocarditis thing,
he's already
and
on
now
extended
concussion
time.
thing, like, it's just the poor guy.
He could have came off.
Most random injuries.
He could have came off August 12th. He's already on extended time.
Right. No, the only answer is he must be still dealing with some lingering symptoms from the concussion, which is really unfortunate, because he came back, and then when he was demoted, that's when he went back on the IL. So he had a concussion, went to the IL, got off, and then was demoted, then went back onto the IL. And now clearly, there's just some lingering stuff here. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that's a bat we need back come September 1st. Like that,
as of
a boost.
I finally found an update.
All right.
According to Rich Dubroff, Friday morning,
Friend of the show.
Friday morning, he was still in concussion protocol.
Right. With symptoms still, I guess.
Well, he was feeling better and performing some baseball activities. He last played July 29th, so he'll need a rehab assignment when he's clear to play. It's possible that he could return to the Orioles in late September.
What?
According to Rich
Late
Dubroff.
September?
Late September.
You mean late August?
He says late September because he was answering a listener's question if Kjerstad could come up September 1st.
That doesn't make sense.
I don't.
Late September?
I guess they are. I guess the idea is right now he is doing some baseball activity. So you figure he has to get to full baseball activity and then a rehab assignment, and then you're looking at mid-September.
Wow.
So
that's too bad.
It sucks because he would be a huge help on this team, especially when we were seeing his bat come alive.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want this to be all about the Yankees, but the Yankees just passed us in most home runs in all of baseball.
Right. And Kjerstad would have gotten at least 5 in the last month.
He hits home runs.
He does.
This offense could use a little boost.
It sure would be nice because those balls in play that we're not getting, they can't field them if you hit them over their heads. You get it over that fence, there's your BABIP number.
Yeah. Santander knows that. And so does Judge and Soto. Man, they're putting.
Judge, yeah. What he's like a bunch of records on tie with Babe Ruth and stuff now. Like Judge hit some new record, and even Ohtani, Santander's home run got hit in because Ohtani got his grand slam like the same night.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when we were excited because Ohtani left the AL, which opens up MVP discussions. And you don't think Aaron Judge is going to have another year like
he has,
but it's
ridiculous.
No one else. There's not even a discussion for it. I know Bobby Witt's having a good year too, but there's no discussion.
He is. Aaron Judge is the 5th player in MLB history with 3 50 home run seasons.
Yeah,
and we're past the steroid era. He's just scary up there.
Yeah, you know what's crazy, Josh? Here's something crazy.
Judge is on pace for 63 home runs this year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
I want to talk about my guy, though.
All right.
Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah.
You think he's MVP level?
No.
He would be, okay, fine. And I don't think so either, but he's up there. And he would be, if you look at things like...
Well, because of Aaron Judge. He's in the conversation, but Aaron Judge is just out of control.
Right. And I mean, I think, and Soto and Bobby Witt Jr. are the top three, and then Gunner's
Yes.
4. And Gunner's 4 and F4.
Yeah. But Gunnar has struggled a lot lately.
Yeah, but Josh, in terms of Fangraphs WAR, Gunnar Henderson would be number 1 in the National League.
Well, that doesn't mean no good. He's in the American League.
Okay, but he's ahead of Otani. He's ahead of Francisco Lindor. He's only behind Juan Soto,
Matt,
Bob Witt Jr., and Aaron Judge.
You're using an old Orioles argument. That's the same thing we used to say about the Orioles. Well, we're in last place, but we'd be first place if we were in the NL East.
Yeah, it's true. It was true, though.
I know it was true. All right, we're in last place, but look at this NL West. Yeah. I wish we could. Well, no, I don't wish we could use those arguments because
I mean, and then ESPN in their WAR stat, they have Gunnar Henderson 3rd, ahead of Juan Soto. So only behind Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt Jr. So yeah.
I mean, if he gets hot, he could make that push. But Aaron Judge has already locked it up.
Okay, but isn't it interesting that even given the struggles defensively, like Gunnar Henderson, according to the WAR, which people act like is the end all be all, would be the favorite to win the MVP in the National League? Isn't that kind of wild?
I mean, it's not too surprising because Gunnar Henderson started out really strong. He's been struggling early or lately, which is easy to look at. But remember, for the first half of the season, Aaron Judge and Gunnar Henderson were number 1 and 2 in home runs and going back and forth for a while until Judge just lit off.
Yeah, remember Judge got off to the really slow start this year.
Right, like at one point it was like Aaron Rodgers had 26. Aaron Rodgers. Why am I talking about Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, you're ready for football.
I am not ready. I am not ready for football.
You've been doing fantasy draft prep. You're looking at taking Aaron Rodgers.
I am not.
First pick.
I am not ready for football.
All right.
I am talking about the other Aaron in New York. Aaron Judge had like 25, and Gunnar had like 26 home runs. But then Gunnar really, you know what happened to Gunnar? The curse. The home run derby curse. The home run derby curse.
Yeah.
Because he got to 33, and he has been stuck.
Well, no, he got to, where was he at? He was like at 28 or something, right? At the All-Star break or something?
Yeah, and he's gotten 4 since.
Yeah.
Or whatever. He's got 33.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. That's fine. I mean, but I'm just saying, like, I think sometimes we talk down on Gunnar because how hot it was in the first half. He's still like having one of the best seasons in all of baseball.
Yeah, I'm joking. He's still got 5 home runs for the month of August. So he's fine.
Yeah. He's gotten hot again in August. Though he wasn't great in the. I mean, looking up his numbers for the last 7 games, no home runs, only 4 hits.
4 hits,
strikeouts.
Yeah, and 4 walks though. His walk rate was up this week.
Okay. Yeah, and he's got the best, mad walk in baseball. So you appreciate that.
I do. Like he is pissed when he's taking off his little arm shields and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh, there was that moment in the dugout. Okay, this is going back a couple of games.
The Corbin Burns yelling?
The Corbin Burns yelling.
Yeah.
It's yet another example. People have complained. I don't want to turn into the Manager Hyde thing.
No, but Manager Hyde should have been yelling, not Burns.
Corbin Burns. Yeah, this has been going on where people complain that Manager Hyde's not arguing balls and strike calls. And then Corbin Burns yells. And I think there was also a similar incident with Ryan O'Hearn yelling.
Yeah.
And
we saw
Hyde holds the players back.
Yes.
Instead of fighting for the players.
It reminds me.
Criticism of Manager Hyde?
Yes. He needs more emotion. The players need him to be showing more out there fighting for them and not waiting until 1 out's left in the game. He should be out there. If your team is angry, you need to represent that team and go out there and talk to the umpire. Even if you're faking it, sometimes you got to do that for your team. I agree with that.
Don't you think you can be above that nonsense and kind of be a steady voice in the dugout
yes.
and say we're not going to get overly emotional?
You could,
guys. We're going to handle the adversity without losing our cool.
All right, Ted Lasso. Sure, you can do that. But
I'm not a Ted Lasso guy. Okay, so don't come in with that. I only watched the first season. I didn't really enjoy it that much.
Sometimes your team is frustrated and they need that outlet. And it's better for you to be that emotional outlet for your whole team to be out there so that your team also thinks, yeah, the umpire, so that they think that, look, even my manager thinks the ump is sucking tonight. Rather than if you're saying, hey, we're going to be the upper hand, we're going to be the good guys, we're not going to yell like the Yankees, then it's suddenly like, well, I am frustrated, and even my manager thinks the ump's doing a fine job.
Okay.
So no, I think
I didn't mean to turn into negative.
And I go back to Chris Davis wanting to fight Brandon Hyde in the dugout.
Yeah.
And show that I need a little bit more emotion out of Hyde. That's why I loved it when the Yankees were chirping and he went out there ready to fight.
Yeah, that's great.
I want more of that from manager Hyde.
Yeah, no, I agree. But it was more in my mind, and it came across as a dig to manager Hyde. But more, I mean, this is a game that Corbin Burns wasn't pitching in. Like, he was just a spectator.
Right.
Like, he's in every pitch.
And
he's pumped. And I just love that emotion and fire from Corbin Burns. I can't wait till we sign him, to a 7-year extension.
No, I love that. And I love seeing him yell, O'Hearn yell. I like seeing the players invested and the players caring. I think the manager needs to do a little bit more of that.
Hey, do you know who I also enjoyed, watching baseball games? In the Mets series, your boy David Rubenstein was sitting right behind
I told
the
you.
catcher. And I watched him, you're watching him and then you see him right in the background the whole time.
Yeah. And he's into every pitch.
I don't know if he has a cell phone, if he owns one, but never once would they look at a cell phone. Never once was he chatting with
his
fans.
jitterbug stayed away.
He was into every pitch.
No, I told you.
Cool to see.
I told you I went to that rain delay game and sat above him and watched him come back after an hour and a half rain delay back to his seats, just like everyone else.
Yeah.
Not stay in the box, sit in those seats back there.
I
love having a manager that is passionate and cares. And I hope
and is a fan. Yeah.
And I hope that he shows some of that emotion where he yells at Brandon Hyde or yells at Michael Elias once in a while.
Yeah, no, that's not true. We do not want David Rubenstein to meddle in this team.
All right.
No.
I don't want the not Jimmy Johnson. Who's the owner?
Talking about the Cowboys.
Of the Cowboys.
Well, yeah, you don't even go there. You can go to Peter Angelos, but sure.
No, but Peter Angelos, Peter Angelos didn't meddle, except for with the Chris Davis thing.
Yes, he did. And I know,
all right, Mr. Rubenstein,
Jones. Yeah,
do me a favor.
Yeah.
I really want Anthony Santander on this team. I really want a Gunnar Henderson extension on this team. Please let Mike Elias handle this. You can approve it. Don't go behind his back and take him out for a nice candlelit dinner.
All right, Josh, we're running over, so we got to wrap this up. But all right, real quick. Corbin Burns, Santander, Gunnar Henderson extension. If you can only do one this offseason, what would be your preference? Santander,
Burns,
or Gunnar Henderson extension?
Burns.
Yeah, I agree.
But I would like 3 this offseason.
What would be your number 2 choice?
Number 2? Santander.
Okay, I will go the Gunnar.
It's not to take anything away from Gunnar, except
you don't think Gunnar's a good baseball player?
No, it doesn't take anything away from Gunnar. We still have control of Gunnar, so I have more time to do Gunnar. If I don't do Burns right away, if I didn't do Anthony right away, those guys are gone.
Yeah, I'm a little biased in terms of the Santander discussion. That's why I would go Gunnar.
What do you mean you're biased? You don't want him?
I want Heston Kjerstad to play every day.
I know.
I know. He's blocking his path.
He is. I
have mixed feelings about it.
But I love the prospect of Burns and Eflin as 1 and 2 next year, and Grayson.
Yeah, and then with help coming on the way. Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
So,
all right, let's get out of here.
Sounds good.
We went everywhere today.
It really was.
We just ran.
Can you tell we didn't have show notes tonight? We were all over the place.
Yeah, I have 30 tabs open.
Yep, me too. I got 7 tabs right now.
Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, I've been closing them.
Oh, you've been closing them?
Yeah, I've got Heston Kjerstad tab, a Gunnar Henderson tab, a McCann contract tab, a Babbitt tab on the Orioles.
Okay. See, I had some Miami Marlin tabs open. Connor Norby, Kyle Stowers tab. I have Trevor Rogers. We didn't talk about this. Here's the headline from Fangraphs. Oh, did I just exit out? I think I just exit out. It was about Trevor Rogers, and here's the headline for the Fangraphs article. It says, oh, now I can't find it. Oh man, hold on. It says revisiting the Trevor Rogers trade, period.
Oh, I don't want to read that one.
And then it says oof, period.
Yeah.
About kind of what a disaster it's been so far. And then they talk about how Connor Norby's been playing well too. So yeah, but it's really an article about Trevor Rogers' return to form and how he hasn't returned to form, to his 2021 form. So maybe still a project there, but certainly not a win for 2024, but possibly a win because we still have 2 more years of Trevor Rogers. So we'll see.
Yep.
Anyway, we got a lot of tabs open. We covered a lot of ground today. Sas finally went to bed, which is good. I didn't know if he was going to go for a while there. It's a little bit iffy.
I thought you were going to make him cry on the podcast.
He was borderline crying.
I saw, and I was like, please, just can we move on to something else?
I know. I didn't want to throw it on the gauntlet. I also can't have my son showing me up here on
I
Facebook.
know. I've been there.
I was weighing my decisions there.
I've been there. He put you in a tough spot.
Put me in a tough spot, but eventually he did go, which I appreciate. But Judge, we're so freaking entertaining. Even a 7-year-old is just hanging on every word.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, all right, let's get out of here. You can follow us on all your social media platforms. We love your Apple Podcasts, Spotify reviews. So go ahead and write us a review if you haven't already, if you enjoyed the show. This is the playoff push, man. We're heading into September soon. Tell your friends about the show. It's baseball season, baby. Share it.
Share it. Go to section336.com. You can even support us there with a Patreon and donation tab, I think. But really, if you just share and spread the word, that helps a whole lot.
Hey, your commercial last week was in the wrong spot.
Sorry
to bring this up right now. Yeah.
How was it? Wow.
It's in the wrong spot.
I'll have to check. I generally mark down where we're doing the commercials. I forgot to mark the spot for the commercial this week.
I know. That's what I was thinking of it too.
So we forgot it. So I apologize if the commercials are missing. I am definitely working on the timing of the commercials. We did not apologize, but this week I will make sure it at least does not cut off a conversation.
Yeah. Maybe just in the middle of Sass crying.
That's a good point.
We can cover that up. But you can follow us on X. You can follow me on X at Section336. You can follow Josh on X
at Josh Soroka.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's.